had been your week so far? Trust your day has been great and smooth. I welcome you all to another session here today with Asset Debt Recovery, and same remains your host Oluwataye and Oluwalajumoke. And last week we had an interesting topic that we talked about. Basically, it was more or less to those people that want to give out money lenders, and also this week today would continue our conversation on debt recovery, things you need to know as a money lender. So last week, we had an introduction that, collection of debts occurs in every business. It's not just about, those people that are giving out money, basically. It varies, and it's in all business sector. It's not necessarily just has to do with monetary value, but it's also even including services. So even a lot of people that you render something to, like your service to, and they've not paid you, it's another form of debt. It's also not just about the person was owing you money. And also part of what we said as a money lender last week, we talked about things you need to know, things you need to do. And the first thing we talked about, we said for a money lender or an entrepreneur or someone, or you as a business owner, the first thing you need to do is you need to know the credit score of the customers. You need to be sure and be certain of the history, their records. You need to be detailed about whosoever you want to give your money to. And also we also talked about that having you should keep a frequent communication, a frequent and friendly communication. Those are part of what we talked about last week. You need to keep frequent communication. You need to communicate with them frequently so that they can be detailed, so that you can know from their head, and they can also hear from you as well. You can't just say, okay, once you are giving them money, it is till when they pay, or maybe when they don't pay, but that is when you start reaching out. No, you need to keep a constant relationship. You need to build a relationship with them as a money lender, or even as a business owner who is into money lending, or even into services. And also this week we will now go further by saying that as a money lender, another thing you need to know is that you need to have a proper documentation of all your conversation, of everything you need to do. You need to keep a proper documentation from their registration, their records, till your conversation, your current conversation, what the discussion, everything. You need to have proper documentation of all this conversation, so that if anything happened later, you can have evidence. It can serve as an evidence for you and also for the other party. Let's say, for example, the person tells you that, okay, I'll make payment today. Like the person told you like 2 weeks ago, and on that very day when you were expecting money, the person now start telling you he never said that. Because you were able to have a proper documentation of all your conversation, all your transaction with the client, you are able to, if it's for you to refer back to that conversation, or for you to showcase as an evidence. As a money lender, you really need to have that at the back of your mind, that you really need to keep proper documentation of everything, and you have to keep it perfectly well. It is safe and secure, so that another person will not get there, or anybody will not just go there and tamper with it, or even discard it, or destroy it, or throw it away. And that will also incur another problem. When, let's say, case now arises involving court matters, you now need evidences to prove, and they're asking you, where's your evidence? And like, oh, I have it kept somewhere, and at the end of the day you can't find it. It makes you look like a fool. It makes you look like, say, well, this person doesn't know what he or she is doing. So as a money lender, you really need to keep in check proper records of all your documents. And also, as a money lender, another thing you need to know, you need to do is, when you are requesting for a payment, request immediately. You don't have to support the aspect of, okay, I'll pay. Even if they give you a due date, you need to be adamant. You need to stay on your words. Like, you have to make this payment immediately. But if the clients or the customers that always are like, okay, give me some time dates to pay, then you can now have suggestions like, okay, I can suggest you pay, even if it is something bit by bit, instrumental. And also for those people that might want to pay immediately, they might be like, okay, I want to pay, but I can't go to bank. Like, okay, we have other means of payment, if it's bank transfer and every other thing. So as a money lender, part of what you need to know has to come to the aspect of your payment the acquisition of your payments, like collecting of your money back, you need to be detailed on it, and your payment has to be immediately. It has to be immediately so that you can know, and they also can know that okay, this person is in check and this person is keeping it to his words, and they can know that okay, you take them as a priority. And also another thing you need to do, which is actually very important and very, very necessary, is you need to stay away from any form of confrontation and manipulation. Like put away and stop any form of anger. You know, it's possible and it's easy for clients or customers who doesn't want to pay to hold your words against you or say things that are nasty, which would lead to a fight or which will lead to you getting angry. Let me share a little bit story. I remember it's a friend of mine who also is one of my teammates. She called one of the clients one day, and all of a sudden the person started saying all sort of words, started even cursing my friend, cursing the family. Like it became, they started arguing seriously, and at that point in time we had to step in place to be like, okay, talk to the other party, try to calm our friends down and talk to the person. And that was, and later on we figured out it was even the younger brother of the person we called that used the younger brother's details to take a loan. Not even the younger brother, but because the younger brother too was impatient, you know, he was able to miss everything, and then it became a fight. So as a money lender, when customers are giving it to you or insulting you, you really need to calm down, because you already give the money out. All you want to do is to have your money back. So in that such incidents, in such cases, the best thing you can do is just to calm down, you know, apply your wisdom, apply everything you can, and settle the matter amicably, so that both parties can both understand and also be on equal level. And one party will not be, okay, this person insults me, this and this, because most cases end up leads to customers coming to, you know, all these money lending offices to fight, because maybe the client, the person that spoke with them in making payment insulted them, abused them. At the end of the day, be like, I'll find your office, and they will come fight, started making noise, and the rest like that. And in that cases, in such instances, can actually lead out of the way if not properly managed. So as a money collector, as a money lender, you really need to learn how to be patient. It's very important. It's a key factor you need to have. You really need to be patient. You really need to have a listening ears, and also more understanding to settle such cases, to settle such matters. Now, lastly, as a money lender, what you also need to know is you really need to always send a reminder to your customers, especially on the terms and conditions of the loans. Because when a client takes the loan, all they are just after is, I need this money urgently. They don't bother or take time to sit down and read the rules and regulation. Basically, because they might say, okay, the rules and regulation is too long, it's too broad, I don't have all the time to read. All they just do is agree. Everybody do that thing. You know, we don't take our time to read every rules and regulations that is attached to the loan we want to take. We just type agree. So in such cases, as a collector or you that want to give out your money, you really need to always remind these customers on their terms and conditions, rules and regulations, so that he or she who is taking this loan knows that, okay, when I default, it is in the rule that I'm going to pay interest. It is in the rule that I'm going to pay default fee. It is in the rule that I'm going to face any charges that comes my way. So even if the person is trying to be like, I don't have money, okay, I'm owing 30,000 naira, and because I defaulted for like 2 weeks, you're telling me the money is like 40,000 naira. The person would want to argue with that, no, the amount I'm owing is 30,000 naira now. But because you are able to remind the person that, sir, you've defaulted for like 2 weeks, and according to the terms and conditions that you agreed to, these are the amount if you default for a day. So calculating it for 2 weeks, this is the exact amount you're having. For a customer who actually borrowed money, he or she will be able to sit down, calm his or her temper, and be able to rethink on what might have happened to him why he defaulted. And that is when you see when customers who really know what happened, like who really know that, okay, yes, I defaulted, and they are ready to accept their fault, they calm down and then they start to beg for, if it is an installment or for renegotiation. So in such cases, as a money lender, you really need to always, it's important, you really need to keep reminding your customers the terms and conditions they agreed to, so that you can be on a safe side and they also can be on a safe side. And it's not going to be like, okay, you are cheating us and oh, these people, they are bad, they are this, their charges is much, their interest is much. It's because they didn't understand right from onset. So as a money lender, you really need to take your time and know all these things step by step, so that you won't fall a victim of them saying, okay, oh, we are suing you to court because of you are accumulating interest on which we don't understand, not knowing that they actually signed when they signed the agreement and they didn't take their time to read the agreement. It is now when they get to court they started saying their fault, and also they will definitely rule out your own fault to you, because in such cases it might have led to maybe an argument of words, insults, fights between you and the customers, and the customers will be like, you were insulting me, you were doing this, you were doing that. So as a money lender, you really need to be careful on how you manage your customers. Now, however, as a money lender, I really want to pass out this little information to you. You know, it's also what you really need to know, and it will also help you broadly in collection of debt. When you've tried all these things suggested, when you've tried your efforts, you've keep your communication friendly, you've been able to remind them, you've been able to do every necessary things you need to do, and you still later figure out that, okay, I am not getting my money back, my money is not forthcoming, that is when you can now move ahead to invite all other money lending collectors. You know, these are professionals. They are really good at their job. They are very special in that area, whereby they can help you manage your customers, at the same time make sure that you get your money back with no needs of fighting or even ending up to court. So if you are able to invite or involve professionals, collectors, to help recover your money, then there should be a positive, there's even going to be a positive turnout for you to recover your money. Even though I know that most money lenders, they are always scared because of the expenses they want to pay all this money, the recovery agents. Basically, they don't really want to go into such line. They want to do it by themselves. But the truth is, there are some things you can't do by yourself. You really need professionals to help you handle it, and you are able to get what you want. It's so simple. So you really don't need to worry yourself over, oh, I'm going to pay a huge amount of money. They know what they are doing. It's their job, it's their area. So as a money lender, I would advise, when you are having debts that you know that, okay, this debt is already a bad debt, and you've tried all your possible best, you've used every means you know, every medium you know, do it fit to reach out to recovery agents, professionals. I mean professionals, those that are really registered in such line. And for example, you can reach out to legal services, you know, law firms. Some law firms are into it. You can reach out, involve legal personnel, practitioners, and also even recovery. There are other recovery agents that all they do is just to recover funds for people. You can reach out to them and they will definitely get to work and do the needful. So today we've come to the end of the call, this session, and I believe that, and I hope that you've been able to get 1 or 2 points here today. And I want to tell you that don't miss out